Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dark World, and we're down to about 13 more buckets we need. We need 3 more here, we need 5 in this middle column and 5 in this corner column. So we're closing in, almost done. Let's get everything else set up that we're going to need for this. Been thinking about it, and what I come up with is I think I want to primarily try to use the solar power, and if the need for power is more than it can handle, then we'll have the big reactor kick in and supply power that we need, and so we can conserve the yellorium here and so forth. So kind of the key to this is buffering up. So we've got vibrant capacitor banks here, 2 of those. We have one that we made earlier, just a regular capacitor bank, which I've put here, and could use some more, but I was looking at the recipes. So we've got this is a depreciated one, capacitor bank, and you have the vibrant one. Oh, and a basic capacitor bank. Takes leadstone energy cells. You notice these recipes have been modified a bit. Regular capacitor bank, hardened energy cell. This one takes a redstone energy cell. And then you got these octatic capacitors as well. To make a redstone cell, we need an MFE. MFE requires 4 energy cells, or energy crystals. Each one of these takes 4 diamonds, so we're looking at 16 diamonds to make these. So it's kind of bad. Kind of expensive, I should say. It's not necessarily bad, but definitely a lot more expensive. If you want to make resonant energy cell, you need an MFSU. You know, and these things, there's 4 more diamonds for these, so 4 times 6 is 24, plus the MFE, which is 8, so we're looking at like 32 diamonds to make one of these. So it's a bit pricey. This thing holds probably the most, 50 million. That's twice as much as the vibrant capacitors, capacitor bank, whatever. This only holds 25. I got 2 of these set up here. So this is equivalent to the resonant energy cell. It's probably quite a bit cheaper to make though, as far as diamonds go. We don't need a lot more of these, I think. But yeah, we need some. So what I'm thinking is we'll probably take one of these away, just have one of these powering this floor, all this stuff like we had before. We'll swap this one out with the vibrant, and this is basically going to power all the ME stuff. So we really should have something a little bit bigger than just this regular capacitor bank. And so then we'll have this regular capacitor bank left over. We might need another one. But basically what I want to do is I want to have the big reactor, solar panels, so forth, connect into a capacitor bank. So that'll be the first defense, or first storage, whatever system it's going to hit. From there then it'll go into the rest of the capacitor banks, and this first one we're going to be able to control the big reactor with. Now capacitor banks themselves can't really do anything. I think it's probably nighttime, better go rest. But there's another device that goes along with it that will be very helpful to us. And that is the monitor. So this power monitor, we'll go ahead and make one of these up. Displays details of power use and storage. Can be used to emit redstone based on storage power levels. And that's the property we want. We want to be able to emit redstone based on how full the capacitors are. Must be attached to an NRIO conduit. So we want to build one of these. These aren't really too bad. Need to get a few things together. Need some electrical steel. I don't know if we have any electrical steel or not. Iron. Nope. No. Give me some steel. So I'll throw that in there. Well, the recipe for the basic capacitor is gone, isn't it? Oops, that's not what I want to do. Double layer, so I already had capacitor. Silly me. Alright. Ooh, it uses signalium now. That's probably why it's not more. Another little change. Signalium. Might as well turn all these into nuggets. I don't think we... What can you use a full bar for? Plate. Lamps, illuminator. I don't know. Right now it seems like we need nuggets more than anything else. We'll go with that. Take one of those. Stick it here. Take one of those. Alright, next thing we needed was... Red recipe. Electrical steel. Iron, coal, and silicon. Some iron, coal dust, and silicon. Alright. Not sure how much of this we'll need. We'll do like half a stack of each. Might be way, it's probably way more than we really need actually. I think I want to take some away. Alright. Energy conduit, we got that. We need a probe. I already have a probe, which I made before for troubleshooting. And I don't think I'm going to need it anymore. If I do, I'll make another one. 6, and there's the yellorium. The 24 turned into this, so not bad. So there we go, power monitor. So like I said, we want to have the power feed into a monitor or a capacitor and then feed into the rest of the capacitor. So I'm gonna have to rework all the wiring back here. So I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll come back in and show you what I did. Alright, just to let you guys know, I decided to go ahead and make a vibrant capacitor. I think that's gonna work better because the transfer rate, this is where I'm setting it up. For just a regular capacitor, only 5,000 RF per tick. There's one of these. Can handle 25,000. And if we look at the conduit here, this one's about 20,000. So I think it just makes a lot more sense to have a vibrant capacitor up there instead of just this regular one. So I'm going to swap that out with the vibrant. But to make that, I need to make a whole bunch of stuff. And apparently I don't have a macerator, which I'm going to need to make the diamond things, or the energy crystals. Yeah, this thing. This is the only way you can get this dust. Unless you want tiny piles, which come from centrifuge. You don't have that. So, I could have swore I made a macer already, but I don't see it anywhere. So, I'm crafting one of those. Flint, cobblestone. Should have what we need now for this. Okay. And so I'm going to keep working on this. Grind it up. I'll come back when I have the vibrant. I'll just show you what's involved though. So we're going to have to make some octatic, which, it's a bit of work, not too bad. These things have been changed, so I'll need more of that. This guy takes an MFE. Each one of these takes 4, so we're looking at 16 diamonds total. Machine casing, that's not a big deal. This is not a big deal, so it won't take too long, but it is a little bit involved. So I'll come back when I'm done. Actually, another thing I should point out is that this is going to take up all the rest of the diamonds that we found down there. So, we got no diamonds in here at all now. The only diamonds we have are over here. Do we have any here? We've got 2 here. But we do got these shards. We can start turning into diamonds. Let's not do it there then. Let's see how many diamonds we can get out of this. Yeah, just 4 diamonds. So, hopefully we won't need diamonds too much for a while. Alright, I'm going to finish this up. I'll be back. Okay, we're almost there now. And then once we do, we get the monitor ready. Okay. We should get the conduit out. Might need, well, yeah, we're definitely gonna need more of this. Might have to make some of that as well then. But let's see what we can do first before we get electrum. Yeah, we do get electrum. Good. There we go. Finally. So, this thing's drained. Alright, so put this here. So we get the solar panels up there. This tesseract is going to have to get moved. We might be able to just stick it right next to it or something. We'll see if that works. I don't know if it's going to work or not. So this, we want to accept input from the top. Input. I'm jumping past it. Receiving energy. Alright, we're going to have to throw a conduit between, I guess. So, input actually. Yeah, let's put that there. Goes over here like so. now, set this to input. Just nothing there. And output. Hopefully it's not nighttime. I better go check that actually. Yep. And losing power because it's recharging everything. Actually should be good. We grab a charcoal block, augment the power a little bit. That might not have been the best place for that actually. Oh well. Eventually should fill that up. Alright, so the next step, I guess, we're going to need have to find a big reactor. This is okay. Keep going down. Night vision. Let's see what we hit. Conduit connector. That's the laser. Alright. Okay, this would be the boundary wall, I guess. Let's get over this thing. Let's see where this is. Alright. This thing we might actually want to move. Can we put it on the top, I wonder? I think we'll stick it in the side there. Maybe like right there. This way it doesn't have to be routed quite as far. Alright. Take this one out. Yeah. So then we take this out. Replace it with one of these. Like so. Actually, we should have made that glass. We don't have any glass. The only glass we got is under there. Alright, let's go find the... Oops. That's not what I want. Amethyst. Alright, so there's our extra piece of glass. That should work pretty good. somewhere. So now, I can make this glass look a little better. And fill that in later, I guess. Alright, up here, I'm going to put the power tap, or the RedNet reactor port. Oops. Alright. And we'll program this thing. Probably this one, input toggle reactor on off. And white channel sounds good. So stick that there. Activates on level. This is going to toggle it every time you get the redstone signal, probably. We'll toggle it on pulse, I guess. Alright. So that's the first step. Now we're going to get this. And this might be kind of boring, so I'll do all the tunneling and stuff. I'll cut back once it's kind of more done. Okay, so we got our capacitor. I've set this so it won't drain out, so I can watch this thing fill up. So we're going to 135 in. Comes in from the solar panel. This is what's going to come in from the big reactor through the tesseract. We got the monitor set up here, and this is the capacitor bank storage detecting over here, 25 million RF, and a few other statistics and so forth. This is what we're interested in. We want to turn the engine control on, and I got a lamp here to see when it's on and off. But we turn this on, and what this can do is this can detect the storage over here, and based on what the storage level is, emit a redstone signal or not. So we have it emit signal when storage is less than, say, 10%. So if the storage drops below 10% full, it's going to turn the redstone signal on, and it'll stay on until this condition. So stop when storage greater than or equal to 50% full. So once it hits 50% full, it'll turn the redstone signal off again. So basically, when the redstone signal's on, we want to produce power. So if it gets below 10%, we're running kind of low, we need to turn the engine on in order to produce more power. Once it hits 50% full, then we can stop because we got plenty of power in there. So that's how we have this configured at the moment. And the redstone signal goes over to the tesseract, and we set the tesseract to be enabled when we have a high signal. So when we have redstone signal, then we'll allow the power to come through. When the redstone signal is off, we won't allow the power to come through. So that's how we've got that set up. So this will control when we should draw power from the big reactor or not. And we actually don't need a connection down over here because we got the tesseract. I forgot about that, so that's interesting. Alright, so the next step, we could just turn the big reactor on and just let it run. But the thing is, when this thing fills up with power, it'll keep running. It'll keep using up yellorium, even though it's full and it's not producing all that power, is just being wasted. It doesn't care. It's just going to keep going. So we should do something a little bit smarter than that. And you know, I should actually move that back down here. Alright, well, and the reason for this is because we're going to control it with RedNet. That's why we've made a RedNet control port. So the programmable RedNet controller, this is what we want. And this is kind of how we make it. And there was one diamond I saw, so we need plastic sheets. I think I might have made some up already. So we need one of those. No, we didn't make any sheets. plastic. Let's make some sheets up then. And we can only make 3. So we need derium. Alright, clear that. One of those. Aluminum. Now we should be able to do this. 4, 5, 6. Now we're out of raw plastic. Rubber. Oops. Let's do 12 or so, I don't know. We have more binder now. Alright. Two more. Alright. We can make this. This is just a subcomponent. It goes into this. And what are we missing there? Lapis. Should have lapis around here. Just never put it in M yet, I guess. Alright, that gives us one of those. Now, I'm going to move this down to this corner here, so I'll be right back. Alright, got this back where it belongs. Now, the way we want to do this, we're going to want to set up 2 channels. I've done a tutorial on this already, but I'll go into a little bit here. So the inputs are basically redstone signals that we're going to send to the big reactor. So it's receiving those inputs. The output means it's outputting that redstone signal to provide information such as casing temperature. So it'll produce a signal, not really a redstone signal, it's a rednet signal. So we want an output energy amount, input change control rod insertion rate. So that we want, we'll put that on white. We'll control all the rods at once, and we'll use black channel as well. And this will put energy amount percentage on black. We'll commit those changes. I'm gonna have to put this piece back in to complete the reactor, even though it's not full of coolant yet. Alright, that'll fill that up. Now, so this is what it's talking about, percent full, with the this right here, energy amount percentage. This is how much energy is stored within the reactor. So if it's 0, then we'll have a level of 0 output. If it's full, it'll be 100% output. And the control rod insertion rate, this thing, also takes a number between 0 and 100. And you can control those up here as well with these. And you can give it a name and so forth. Basically we're at 0% right now, which means we're not inserting the rod at all, which means we're not limiting the power or attenuating it. So it has the full amount of power coming from that rod. If you insert this down all the way to 100%, then you're completely blocking the rod from doing anything. So you're going to get 0% output. So this is like the percentage of output. or how much you're limiting, how much you're taking away from the full output. So it's 100% output right now. If we put this down 100%, then we're getting 0% out. We move this to, let's say, 25% here, then we'll get 75% of the power out of it. But we're limiting the 25% with the control rod. So that's how that works. That's sort of the opposite of the output amount that you have. So that's the basics you need to know. Now we can set this sucker down, and we'll set it right here. This is the top face. The front face is facing us. If we take this out, this is the front. So the back of it's actually touching our thing here. So, what's next? This is a little tough to understand. Either you understand it or you don't. But basically, I'm not going to try to get into explaining all this because it gets really complicated. The one thing we do want to do is a pass through. Just a regular pass through. And we want to change this to input output IO, and we want the back face. So we want this, instead of D, which is down, we want B. There we go. And we want the black channel. That's our input. The black channel was the percentage of power here. I'm pretty sure anyway. Do I remember? I don't know. I guess we'll check it to make sure. Yeah. So that's correct. Alright. And then... So, we get our signal in. So, this signal is how much power is in the computer bank, right? And if we don't have any power at all, right, then we want to produce power. So if we're at 0% full, we want 0% insertion rate of the rods, right? But if we're totally full, 100%, we want 100% insertion rate of the rods so that we don't produce any more power because we're just going to lose it. So basically we want to take this and use this to control the rod insertion rate, right? So what we'll do is we'll pass this signal back out the back on the white channel. So we'll take the black channel, send it out as the white channel, and that should cause it to go. So let's fill this thing up. We haven't actually filled it up yet. We put in 1 yellorium, but that's it. We're going to need around 100. Actually, we'll need 99 left now. We put in 1, so this should fill it up quite a bit. And you see those yellows are quite a bit thicker now. 65% full. Just throw in another stack, and we can't quite use it all up. But we're at 100% full now. So we should be good to go. The one thing, well, this isn't always active. The one up there should work. Alright, so I think everything's all set up. So we can probably turn this on and see what happens. And we see the heat's rising pretty quick. And it's holding about right there. A little high, but let's go see. We're getting close to 50%. So these control rods should be, yeah. And you see it's going down more and more as this thing fills up, and will produce less and less as it fills up. So you see our power is actually dropping down because we're inserting the rod so much. Until it's done. So it slows down more and more because we're producing way too much. When you have a constant load going on, this thing will adjust itself to whatever that load is typically. So if you're using about 1K RF or 1,000 RF per tick, then this thing will balance out to about 1,000, and this will remain mostly full. So this is kind of good for feedback as well. And you can see we got like about 300% here, and that's because we have these rods in close proximity like this, but we have a space between them so they can share the radiation, and this makes it more efficient. So 97.3, 0.4. We can just go ahead and turn it off right now. I want to fill up the rest of this so we can make sure we keep this nice and cool. But that's the basics of how to set up the big reactor. How you can use this to control the fuel usage, so you don't go wasting a lot of fuel. Because it's not that easy to get yellorium, so it's good to preserve what you have. This I'll have to fill back in and stuff. Let's go and see how we're doing with the capacitor bank up here. That's full. And this one is kind of low. This is on. It should be pulling out power. Frequency 1, receiving energy. This thing should be like nearly filled up. So what's going on? Guess we got lots of power sitting in here. Disabled. Lag. Sending energy. And I'm pretty sure that is reactor power tap. Unless it's been changed and it can't be sitting adjacent to a energy cell now. It's the only thing I can think of, because it should be sending stuff out through and it doesn't seem to be. Unless we have this thing misconfigured up here. In, out, always active. Yeah, it's definitely not as full as it should be, so. And we got one of these we can test with it, I guess. I guess we'll see. Oh, we got two of those there. Take this out. Let's take this out. Tesseract here. That there. What does that do? Okay, now it's draining. So I guess it won't work if it's adjacent to the tap. It has to actually have a conduit in place. And so now this thing's filling up nicely. And the signal turned off because we're about 50%. I'm not sure what this is exactly. Seems like it's falling. Alright. So, that's the basic setup. Now this should solve all of our energy problems. I'm going to keep an eye on it, make sure it's working the way I think it should be working. Oh, we didn't turn that back on, did we? So that should fill that up again. Drain this. But this thing won't turn on until it gets down below 10%. So until this drops below 10%, it won't bother turning on. So I think this is all working the way it should. So that's how you do it, folks. The big reactor and all the infrastructure and so forth you need to get the power where you need it. Shouldn't need this here anymore. Just have to keep an eye on the yellorium. But, you know, this created so much power. Wow, it's actually pretty low now. And we didn't deplete very much. Turn it back on. So we're not really, I mean, about 1 millibucket per tick. And for that we produce about 9,000 RF per tick. That keeps changing, so it's kind of hard to measure. We're at 400% now. Pretty nice. So, and we should have, yep, cyanide ingot. Alright. So, hope you guys like that. That's interesting. If you're struggling with how to set all this stuff up, then hopefully this will be pretty useful to you on how to do it. So, we, I think I'll probably fix up the bees. I decided against using the pipes. We don't really need to use pipes because, I mean, we could just do it the way we did the apiaries here, which was with this conduit. You set up a little loop, and you only need 2 pieces to loop it on a alveary. So that'll just get the queen and the drone back in. Anything extra that can't will pipe into like an ME interface. Just throw it in the ME system, and that should just be extra drones and honeycombs and whatever products it produces. So like the cryothium here. Let me get some more of that. So I'll do that next episode. Work on fixing it all up. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe if you'd like to know when new videos are coming out. And if you think you got any friends that might find this episode to be interesting, then go ahead and tell them about it. Feel free to advertise wherever you want. I don't mind. And I'll see you guys next time. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye.